Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this. This is your weekly WWE Monday Night Raw review. I'm your host, LK from KocoSports.net. That's KocoSports.net. It's where the world goes to cash in for combat sports. Above all, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. And you, the internet infantry, I want to hear from you. Do you give this show a win? Do you give this show a loss? Or do you give this show a tie? Me personally, I'm going to give it a strong tie. There were aspects of the show I liked. There were aspects of this show I didn't mind. There were aspects of this show I hated and didn't understand. And listening now, you guys probably know what bits I didn't understand or what bits as you watch the show. But as a whole, a tie. Okay, straight off the bat, it's 4:14 a.m. right now. The main event just finished. When it was announced that the women were main eventing, I was skeptical. I'll be honest, I thought, okay, it wouldn't have that big fight feel, wouldn't have that important Raw main event feel to it. I'll eat my own shit here. That delivered. It really did deliver. The pressure was on. The women had to deliver if they ever wanted a chance to main event ever again. And they delivered. And I'm happy for both their women. Happy for the women's wrestling industry per se. I think they really showcased what women can do in the wrestling industry. And you guys know, for a good year now, I've always taken the mick out of women's pro wrestling. I've always said it's a toilet break, etc. And I'll eat my own shit here. That was a spectacular main event with a great build, a great match, and it was a spectacle. And I really enjoyed it. I ate crow here, so I've got my notes here ready to rock and roll. So we'll get down to it. Quite a lot of notes here because for once it was quite an action-packed show. So we started off with we're obviously from the Staples Center in LA, California. We're back to white ropes because it's the Cancer Awareness Month. I don't want to talk about the Cancer Awareness Month because I don't want to get in trouble. Then we have the intro and pyro, and this does make me happy. I do love getting the old intro. I do prefer the intro and pyro compared to the old stupid, shitty replay / video package. There's one thing that grinds my gears. It's A, this is awesome, John. B, a Zack Ryder match. And C, having to watch something that already happened. And okay, you may have new fans, but do you really have to start off with a replay package? So I'm happy we start off with some intro and pyro. So we have Roman Reigns comes out. He's polarizing, or he's just booked to look like a untouchable superhuman cunt of a human being. Maybe that's what's actually happened here. He comes out, insane heat. Really bad heat. Like, the crowd can't stand him. There's an easy solution for this. It's so simple. Okay, turn the headphone up right now. It's this simple. Turn him heel. Imagine the heat. Imagine the heat. It's so simplistic. Like, you're not asking for much, right? How about this? Okay, so I'm a writer of a soap. Okay, and I'm a writer of a soap, and online press are really, really hating on a certain character. They're meant to be the good person, they're morally correct, but maybe people don't like the way he looks, or maybe something along those lines. And as a writer, I'm like, okay, people don't like him. How about we turn this and have him be a bad guy? So not only do they not like him because they don't like him, but now they're going to hate him even more because he's a bad guy. I've never understood this whole, okay, he's the chosen one. I really do not understand. It confuses me why they haven't turned Reigns heel yet. And the more it happens, usually I just let it slide, but here it's just unbelievable. Lana, though, interrupts him. There's some thank you, Lana chants. Lana and Reigns have this bickering session. It does go on for what feels like an eternity. Lana's promos are okay. Reigns' are okay. It's just okay. Lana at the end tells Reigns to go to hell. Rusev comes out. They brawl ringside in the ring. Rusev throws him into the steps, and he does this one thing that really, again, sorry to say, this grinds my gears. If you've ever seen a big match John Cena match, every time he hits the steps, he pushes the steps away to make it look more impactful, but in the process making it look fake. And I don't like using that word on the show, but he makes it look fake. Reigns now does that. It really winds me up, okay? Rusev super kicks Reigns over the barricade. He steals the US title. He goes up the ramp, but then as he's posing on the ramp, Reigns must have ran all the way around. He hits a Superman punch of Rusev and stands tall with the US title and says, Rusev, you are going to have your rematch, and it's going to be inside a Hell in a Cell at Hell in a Cell. So we now know we have Roman Reigns versus Rusev for the US strap at Hell in a Cell inside Hell in a Cell, which many people predicted. I'm guessing I still don't know what we're gonna get for the Universal title Hell in a Cell. I'm guessing we're gonna get 2 Hell in a Cell matches this pay-per-view. But anyway, we go on to now on my notes here, I've got Cruiserweight Championship, TJ Perkins defending against Brian Kendrick. Because that's what I thought it was when the bell rang. However, as their match progressed, as I'm getting more into it, we're getting to some near falls. I'm a bit more emotionally attached because the belt's on the line. Because, they did promise 2 championship matches this week, one for the Cruiserweight and one for the women's, which is obviously in the main event, which we'll get to later. And then Brian Kendrick wins. Okay, and I'm like, holy shit, we have a new Cruiserweight champion. I was invested in the submission hold, the captain's hook. I really was. And then when Kendrick won, I was like, yeah, it's good for Kendrick. And then I saw a celebration with no belt. And I'm like, has someone stolen the belt? And then I wait for the ring announcer, JoJo, who does an awful job, by the way. She needs firing right now. And she goes, here's your winner, Brian Kendrick. And I'm thinking to myself, I didn't hear the words new Cruiserweight champion. Maybe she's shit, so who knows? And then Michael Cole says maybe Brian Kendrick's earned himself a future Cruiserweight champion. Now, I'm thinking to myself, maybe I'm just an English toilet and it's very late. Or WWE imbeciles. So I took to WWE's Twitter and I went for a week's fucking... I thought I put a lot on my Twitter at LK Wrestling. But these guys are just disgusting. So there I am. I go through it during one or two of the commercial breaks. And I saw the actual tweet that says next week at the Staples Center, TJ Perkins will defend the Cruiserweight title against Brian Kendrick. So it definitely was promoted. I've kind of given up with understanding, and there's a great term used. I can't remember, someone tweeted at me the other day. WWE logic, and this is a prime example. It's promoting something. The thing is, they never normally promote things. So when they promote things, I actually get excited, because they don't promote anything. Everything's presented to you, not promoted properly. So we had a promoted Cruiserweight title match. Generally interested me. And then after the match, you find out, not before, after the match, you find out it's not for the belt. It's just frustrating. It really is. But the match itself was okay. It's just the story and the things that people are talking about right now on the internet. They're not talking about how great the match was or how good the match was. It's talking about how bad WWE is when it comes to their writing. It's unpredictable and not in a good way. Michael Cole then has a sit-down interview with Seth Rollins. Rollins talks about his injury to his ribs, claims Kevin Owens given the belt instead of earning it. He then talks his loss at Clash of Champions, blames Stephanie, and if he gets a rematch, he will cancel the Kevin Owens show. Decent stuff there. I think Michael Cole's really good at this job. When I mean good at his job, please do not take that out of perspective here. Michael Cole is really bad at commentating. But in these sit-down interviews, I think he comes across as a good journalist, okay? Just my opinion. We had Braun Strowman versus Chase Silver. Silver before match, because I thought JoJo was bad. Byron Saxton then came in the ring. And when he's on commentary, I sometimes forget he exists, okay? Because his voice doesn't really stand out. You forget he exists. And that does happen from time to time, and that makes me happy. But then I see him, and it triggers a memory in the back of my brain that realizes he does still exist. He is getting paid, and he's been there for a long time now. And he interviews Chase Silver, and then Silver says he had a dream that he beat up Braun Strowman. Strowman comes out. It's a complete squash. He gets the win with a running power slam. This Chase Silver, I think he sold really well. I'm generally being honest. I've never seen him. Never even heard of Chase Silver before. If you could dig some digging up, I can guarantee you can find something on the guy. But I personally don't know him. Or obviously, I personally don't know him. But I haven't seen him or heard of him. But I think he did a great outing for himself. His selling, I think, was very, very good. I think I liked how he sold the big boot where he just bumped into Buckle. The way he took the shoulder blocks were great. And the job of these guys is to job. And their job is to make the star look like a star. And he made, in this case, Braun Strowman look like a monster. He really did. And I was a bit angry because I'm thinking to myself, okay, I thought we moved on now. I thought we moved on from these squash matches. We've moved on to Sin Cara for the past few weeks, and I'm not saying that's an improvement, but at least it was something for, Braun Strowman to sink his teeth into, maybe get a bit more, character out of the guys to just being a monster. But then after the match, Byron Saxton again, yes, he has a job, came into the ring and asked what's next for Braun Strowman. And then he basically says if Foley doesn't give him a decent competitor next week, there won't be a next week. That was an exact quote. Let me say that again. If Foley doesn't give me a better competition next week, there won't be a next week. You had one line. Strowman. Then Kevin Owens come out. Jericho came along as well. Owens claims Rollins doesn't deserve a rematch as he lost at Clash of the Champions. And he's basically hinting that Chris Jericho should be the referee. Jericho then thinks they should challenge the New Days, a very, very loud yes chant. And then Jericho brings up, because obviously Owens is like, no, I've just got my Universal title. And then Jericho does this. Whoever wrote this in here deserves a gold medal. And this was spectacular. Jericho then, for 5 seconds, for just a glimpse, just turns babyface, cuts character, turns babyface, goes, what if I challenge for the Universal title instead? And there's a loud Y2J chant. And you're thinking in the back of your mind, okay, this is it. This is where we're going. Hell in a Cell program, triple threat match for the Universal title. And then he goes back heel. But what I think that was, it was a little sly little thing that we like to do every now and then. And it's a little hint that the future Jericho does want the Universal title. And I do think Jericho is going to turn on Owens. I'm expecting it during a tag match main event, not on this show. So hopefully next week or in the coming weeks, we can see continuing little tweaks in character in Jericho. And I'm actually going to be upset if Jericho goes, because I think Jericho, especially with the list, and I will continue to run down what actually happened, but I think Jericho deserves a lot of credit. He's at his age, he is now. He's in his late 40s. He's still performing very well at a high level. He's having great wrestling matches week to week. He's so entertaining on the mic. And his pairing with Kevin Owens is just fucking magnificent. I'm such a fan of Jericho. Before, I've never been really a huge fan of Jericho because I think, back in like 02, I was a fan and then kind of lost it by 04 and 05. Then he fucked off for Fozzy, came back in 08, left again for Fozzy, and he came back. I'm one of these guys that if you're a pro wrestler, you should be a pro wrestler for life. And it's selfish and it's horrible. I just think that if you, like Jericho right now, if you really want to be a pro wrestler, it should be your life. And I know Jericho's done it and he can now do whatever he wants and it's his luxury, but at least now he's stuck around for this whole year. And I hope he has one full year and then he retires at WrestleMania. Loses to Fandango. No, thank you. Loud Y2Js. Then basically Kevin Owens immediately snaps and just agrees, yeah, Chris, we'll go for the tag belts, which is very funny. New Day come out. Jericho puts them individually on the list of Jericho. Woods makes a fat Kevin Owens joke, which if he was a YouTuber, if he was a podcaster, he would have got 18 dislikes for. And then basically he makes Jericho put him on the list twice, which is funny. And then the New Day end up accepting the challenge for later on this evening. It was funny. Funny promos. You're going to get that out of the New Day and Jericho and Owens. And I like how they're building towards a match, promoting, not just having a screen capture. Fucking pissing me off. Up until 2 hours and 10 minutes into this show, it was just screen captures hyping the main event. There was nothing. And that wound me up. In the parking lot, Cesaro and Sheamus bicker and argue as they get their suitcase out, and they're very late, so I'm expecting them to get shouted at for being late, but they didn't. Then you have Sami Zayn versus Titus O'Neil. This is what I picture happened right there. Right then. What Sami Zayn's music? Oh, this is what happened. Vince is like, this is Vince. Guys, we're meant to record Superstars earlier on today. Guys, Superstars was earlier today. Michael, Superstars was already today. What? We're doing what? Titus O'Neil versus Sami Zayn now? God damn it. Fuck you, Michael. That's what I picture Vince being like thinking this was Superstars. Sami Zayn and Titus O'Neil. And if my memory serves me right, this was actually a match on Superstars last week. Titus has this new thing, okay? This will make you chuckle. Titus brand. Yeah. This is the big deal, Titus O'Neil, and his new gimmick is Titus Brand. I think they should all have these gimmicks. Neville should come out saying Neville Brand. That it doesn't even that Young Brand. Fucking unbelievable. Big E Brand, the New Day Brand. Like, I hope he's better at selling than he is at wrestling because, well, let's face it, it's not very difficult to be better at anything than Titus O'Neil wrestling. For crying out loud. Match was bullshit. Zayn, can we please give this man something to fucking do? There's an instant feud with Jericho. Well, I know we've already done it, but he lost to Jericho, and now it's like he's being punished for something. It is like he's being punished for something, and it really fucking pisses me off. He's such a great talent. He's got such a believable character. He's an underdog character, which are always great stories. Look at Daniel Bryan, CM Punk. The underdog story always does work. And I mean, he hit an explode on the buckle, which Titus just bumped dodgily for. And Sammy won with the haluva kick. Why waste a talent like Zayn? Let's just fucking give him something to do. And then Cesaro and Sheamus argue in the locker room. Mick Foley comes in and says, take the anger out on the opponents instead of each other. Wise words from a wise man. Then we have Anderson and Gallows versus the Golden Truth. Now, this is the part, okay, where I'm getting very bored. And I'm sitting around and I'm wondering what I'm doing with my life. I spin in the chair. I go like this. I get my pen and I rock back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I have a Red Bull, which I drunk to try and keep myself awake. I did have a Pepsi, which I drunk, and I'm awake. But more importantly than that, ladies and gentlemen, this is what Raw does to me. Raw legitimately took a few days off my life. Because during today's show, I ate a lovely Sainsbury's Bakery apple pie. I had it with custard. It was very nice. It was very, very nice indeed. If you listen to the audio on the thing, I do apologise. You couldn't see it. It was very nice Branbury apple pie from Sainsbury's. 99p it cost. Guess what else is 99p? LKVIP. LKVIP.podbean.com. Subscribe now. That was brilliant. Come on. That was one of the most masterful things you've ever heard in your life. That should be its own advert. That was absolutely fucking magnificent. No, just that was putting to an extent how bored this was. It was Golden Truth. Do you remember when they used to do funny stuff a few months ago? Now it's just like, dude, Goldust, when are you gonna hang up the boots, mate? I love you and everything, but Jesus wept. And R-Truth. I've never been a fan of R-Truth. I generally don't see the appeal in him. He comes out and he raps. I hate rap. Rap. This is a very controversial topic. Very controversial. Rap is not music. It's noise. Like, my type of music is, musical talent. I want to hear a vocalist, a guitarist, and a drummer. I like Shinedown are a great band. An example that you guys might know. Let's try and talk WWE theme here. Who else do I like? Okada's song. I like Pentagon Jr.'s song. I love Bobby Roode's song. I like music. I don't like rap. So when R-Truth comes out and he raps, it just really rattles my cages. I can't stand. It's not talent. It's just talking quick. What's up? Fuck off. That's what's up. Pre-tape, Anderson and Gallows say New Day is ruining the tag team division on Monday Night Raw. No, I think the Raw tag team division is ruining the Raw tag team division. The match goes, and I eat the apple pie. Anderson and Gallows hit the Magic Killer to get the win, and then the club attack Goldust after with another Magic Killer. Then we have the Susan G. Komen with Enzo and Cass. I don't really want to talk about this because I believe that I just don't want to talk about it because it could get me in trouble. Well, I don't like Enzo and Cass, so I'm immediately turned off by that. Actually, that's a lie. They're not wrestling, so I find them entertaining. But no, I'm not because no, there's new YouTube laws where you can't be extremist or anything like that. I'm not going to touch on that. That's a dodgy subject. Not going to touch on it. If you want to that badly, no, I'm not going to touch on it. New Day Jericho, you guys know why I can't, and it's pretty simplistic. New Day, then the tag champs versus Jericho and Kevin Owens. Guessing it's a non-title match. Some celebrities are commentating. I'm sorry I don't know their names. I'm English. I generally didn't give a rat's ass who they were. Owens hits another nasty gutbuster for 2, this time on Xavier Woods. Rollins' music hits. He comes out on the ramp, which allows Big E to get the hot tag. And it was I thought they did a really well with Xavier Woods' face in peril. Like, it really was a long time. They cut the ring in half, and Kevin Owens is so funny. Woods hits a running flip to the floor. Jericho applies an old school lion taber. Rollins then distracts him by jumping on the apron. New Day hit the midnight hour to get the win. I've even found this out. Okay, now I don't know if anyone else noticed this, but when JR used to get really excited and hyper, his voice used to crack. My God Almighty! Like, his voice used to crack because of excitement, in not like a high pitch, and like a low, deep voice. Good God Almighty! Like, when Cole does it, he sounds like a little 9-year-old girl screaming. Like, it's funny. Listen to him during this match at the end. He screams, and it's really funny. It really is funny. Rollins pedigrees Jericho as Owens watches from the ramp. Again, is this setting up to the babyface Chris Jericho turn? If so, Jericho versus Kevin Owens inside the cell. I wouldn't mind that. I mean, you could add Rollins into the mix, maybe a special guest referee, where he knows he'll get the winner of that because he's not medically cleared. The commentary, by the way, was awful. Like, this is how bad this commentary team was during this match. I wanted Josh Matthews and the Pope to commentate. That is how bad. That's dirty. That's dirty. We have an interview with Charlotte. Oh, sorry, as I fucking wobble my face. Interview with Charlotte, hyping the main event. Okay, you hear that? Hyping the main event. I wrote it down. 2 hours and 10 minutes into the show. It took 2 hours and 10 minutes for you to get into just talking just a tad about the main event. Unreal. Again, keep the live comments coming, guys. I will be answering them all at the end. Backstage, Stephanie shouts at Rollins as basically he's not medically clear. He shouldn't be being there. He's replaceable. Rollins says if he doesn't get a rematch, he will burn Raw to the ground. Right, everyone now, let's pray to our Lord and Savior Terry Funk. Please, can we not allow Seth Rollins to have a rematch? Terry Funk, if you could help us in our dying needs, as I do not want to consume any more apple pie. Please, can you just allow us for just 1 or 2 or 3 more months for Seth Rollins not to have a rematch for the Universal title? And then he can burn it to the ground and we don't have to watch Raw ever again. Amen. Let's just hope Rollins doesn't get a rematch sometime down the line, because I would love to see Raw burnt to the ground. Up next, Cruiserweight action. Rich Swann, Tony Nese. And I've said for nearly a year now. I mean, I started covering Evolve on this channel, I think nearly a year ago now. I've been full-time on this channel for, I think it's just about a year now. Full-time. My first show was proper full-time on the staff, was SummerSlam 2015. So it's just over a year I've been covering pro wrestling on this channel. I've always said Tony Nese is one of the most underrated pro wrestlers out there right now. He's absolutely phenomenal, and he got the win here. Pump handle, Michinoku driver. This was in the death spot. The crowd were really dead, obviously due to the match placement and the way it was structured in the card. But in the end of the day, I'm just happy that Tony Nese got the win on international TV like that on Raw. Cesaro and Sheamus then beat 2 local talents. Sheamus got the win, the bro kick again. Just it was just a match just to remind you guys that they're there and that they're bickering and that they're arguing and that they're going to win the WWE Tag Team titles. Then we had the main event. Okay, now I put on my Twitter, let me get the exact tweet up, and you can follow me on Twitter at LK Wrestling. I'll follow you back as long as you don't post spoilers, because the TNA TV tapings are going on and I really do not want to find spoilers. So if you have put in the comments a spoiler right now, go and delete it before I read the comments. I put, pressure's on, ladies, main event of Raw, now go deliver. And my God, did they deliver. They really, really did deliver. And this match had a big fight feel. Bayley took Dana out backstage, which meant it was a clear one-on-one, high-profile championship match in the main event of Monday Night Raw, which is what I want every single fucking week. It doesn't have to be for the championship. It just has to mean something, maybe a number one contendership or something. I just want something on the line in the main event. Banks hit a beautiful suicide dive to the floor, heading to the first commercial. Charlotte's working Sasha Banks. Charlotte hits a corkscrew moonsault off the top to the floor, and I gasped when she did, because I thought she mucked up the moonsault at the start, but then she landed safely. Charlotte in that natural selection for 2 for great near fall. The crowd is on their feet. Banks hit a bank, applies the bank statement. Charlotte rolls, cover, 1-2 kick out, but then Banks lands back in the bank statement. Charlotte taps, huge pop, and I could just love how, when you just look at their faces and you could just see how much it damn means to them. It's just like, that's what wrestling's all about. Moments like that, like, you watched history. You really did. You know, like, it was like, what, 13 years ago with Lita and Trish was the last time we had a women's wrestling match in the main event spot of Monday Night Raw, and we got it here. Let's just hope the TV rating went up for the 3rd hour so that people are watching women's wrestling, and that the office for WWE know that people want women's wrestling. So there you have it. There is your Monday Night Raw breakdown. Time for some live comments where we get a bit loosey-goosey, where Internet Infantry members, which are listeners of this channel, ask questions and give their own thoughts of Monday Night Raw. And what I really love about this is, like, we do go to live comments. There's lots of shows out there that won't go to live comments. So that's one thing I'm proud of about this channel. That wasn't a dig at anyone else, by the way. I'm just really proud of the fact that we do go to live comments and we're allowed to. Stephen Tester, you have a new sub from the UK. Hello, Stephen. Thank you, my friend. Heavy J, who's a long time listener of the show, really loved the main event. Sasha played a great face in peril. Charlotte did her job as a heel. Jericho is the star of the show. You know what? You bang on the money there, my friend. Bang on the money. Edward Mohan, Raw was good. Heavy J, did you see the delete sign? No, but I think I heard it during the Braun Strowman match. And I need to finish watching Bound for Glory. I'm so sorry there was no Bound for Glory review. There wasn't even a Bound for Glory review for the VIPs, because basically on Sunday, dude, there was some family issues, and then my girlfriend had night terrors, and there was nothing I could really do about it. Dude, really bad cough. Kayfabe tactics. I thought Raw was terrible. I wonder if they know it's okay to do other matches than the same matches we've seen over and over since the draft. Do something new. That's from Kayfabe tactics. Yeah, I mean, that's understandable. If you got grips and gripes with WWE, I understand why people don't like the product. It is stale, it is boring. It's just, I'm sick and tired of coming out on here, guys, and I already am of saying the same thing week after week. And this show was a slight improvement. I give it a tie because of the main event. If it wasn't for the main event, it would have given a weak loss. The fans were really behind Roman. That was a good sarcasm. I like that. Heavy J in the last comment. I think the whole Titus brand thing is a shot at Ryback. Yeah, I heard about that. I don't listen to his show because why would I waste my valuable hour on that? But I did listen to one of the clips that YouTube is out there on. And he was just there like, oh, they didn't let me have gloves until the last July of my contract. I was unallowed gloves. Oh, okay, Ryback, but what's the problem? They didn't let me have gloves when I was red hot. And then he was like moaning of the fact he was in the main events during 2012. I was just the replacement of John Cena. John Cena had merchandise. I didn't get gloves. And I was like, mate, Ryback wanted gloves. He wanted gloves merchandise. I was cracking up. He was like, it's not, the thing is, it's my brand they're damaging every time I go out there in an unimportant spot on the card. But Ryback, you are unimportant. No, I'm not. I gotta look after my brand where I charge $30 for a 10x10. Why'd you charge $30? Because I need to build my brand. Like, dude, fuck you, Ryback, you sorry ass sack of shit. Dude, I am insulted by anyone who goes to pay to watch Ryback. And if anyone's bought those 10x10s or gloves, I might buy some Ryback gloves to just put on this show. I think it'd be absolutely fucking hysterical. It really would. So that being said, everyone, thank you so much for joining me live on your live Raw review. Thank you if you're listening to this on the VIP channels. I upload my Raw review onto the VIP channel also. if you want, become a VIP member. Links in the description box below. Also, it's on the screen right now. It's lkvip.podbean.com. It's 99 pence per month. You get triple the amount of content from me. Generally triple. You get daily LK every day, which I'm going to be starting again tomorrow. Attitude Era show 20 years ago, but I'm going to be covering World Championship Wrestling. That starts this Friday, which I'm looking forward to doing. Daily LK, and I've got tons of news to cover. Alberto Del Rio being stabbed. Looking forward to breaking that down. I did last week's Lucha Underground review. Looking forward to breaking it down. Looking forward to be back tomorrow right here on this channel. So on this channel, like, comment, subscribe. I'll be back for a SmackDown live review. I don't know if I could get co-host for that. If I can, I can. If I can't, I can't. I'll be going solo. That being said, this is LK from KocoSports.net. Wishing you all the best. Making sure you all stay safe. Make sure you all stay well. And from Robex Gloves, we'll be catching your asses down the line.